Okay, so what we're going to do today is ratios. If you've done this in the Key Stage 3, well done. It's going to be pretty much similar for the this lesson. We're not going to be learning about frogs, sadly. I know, it's fun. You want to learn about frogs, but we're not. Okay. Oh, I can see the comments now. Yeah, sorry. It's just going to be a boring math lesson. No frogs, no vertebrates and non-vertebrates, just classical math. Okay. My favorite. I'm sorry. I'm not feeling, I'm feeling a bit evil today, so we're going to be doing math, okay? So let's look at a ratio. And I'm going to skip out the boring bits, as in boring basic bits, okay? So let's say I had apples and I had oranges because I want to mix up my vitamins. It's better to have a mixture of fruit, so do try and get your 5 a day. Doesn't mean eat 5 apples a day. It means eat 5 different fruits a day. So let's say for every 2 apples, I have 3 oranges. Okay. What about if I had 60 fruit? How many apples and how many oranges would I get each? Hello, Anerja on Facebook. If I had 60 fruit in total and I want to split it in a ratio of 2 to 3, well done, Musama. Hello, Raspi. Well done, Catherine. So I get 60 fruit, okay? And I divide it in a ratio 2 to 3. So I'm going to add up the ratios, 2 plus 3, which is 5, and I divide it by 5. So each ratio is worth 12. So how many oranges would I have? I times this by 12. How many apples do I have? I times this by 12, which is 24 and 36. Well done, well done, Ahmed. Well done, Tiami. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay. I'd like you now to split 120 pounds in a ratio of 2 to 3, please. Well done, Catherine, not quite having that. Well done, Musama. Well done, Anuja on Facebook. Well done, Hoja. Well done, Ahmed. Well done, Taylor. Well done, Tammy. Well done, Bethany. Well done, Ahmed. So how many parts do I have? I got 2 to 3 parts. So 2 plus 3 is 5. And I've got to split the 120 in 5 parts. That means each ratio is worth 24. I times this by 24. And I times this by 24. 2 times 24, 48. 3 times 24, 72. So the ratio is 48:72. Okay? No worries, Ryan. I'd like you to split now the number 300 in a ratio of 1 to 2 to 3. You found a scrapbook to do working outs on. That's great. So can you split this? Well done, Anuja from Facebook. Who's watching me on Facebook? Well done, Taylor. Well done, Catherine. Well done, Musama. Well done, Ronak. Well done, Ahmed. Yes. So you add up the ratios. So I do 1 plus 2 plus 3. That means it's a total of 6 ratios. And I want to split 300 in those 6 parts. Okay. So I get 300 divided by 6, which is 50. So each part is worth 50. Okay. I times this by 50, which I get 150. I times this by 50, so I get 100. And I times the 1 by 50, so I get 50. So it's 1 dot dot 100 dot dot 150 dot dot. Does everyone get that? So let's say money is split Harry, okay? Harry has, let's say, £60. What is the total amount? Anyone can find out that? Total amount. Well done, Musama. Well done, Catherine. Well done, Ahmed. Well done, Ahmed. Not quite Taylor. Total amount, Taylor. Not quite Raspberry. Well done, Masha. No, not quite Masha. Well done, Karim. Well done, Tayami. Not quite Taylor. Well done, Tayami. Well done, Bethany. Not quite Masha. So it's a ratio of 3 to 5. Okay, to Tom to Harry. And Harry has the £60. How do you get from 5 to 60? Well done, Tiffany. Bethany. Okay, so what you're going to do, you always do the second ratio divided by the first. So you do 60 divided by 5, which is 12. So you times this side by 12, and you times that side by 12. And you get 36. So Tom gets 36, Harry gets 60. And together, what they have is £96. Does everyone get that so far? So let's say are in a ratio of 2 to 3. Okay? And there are 15 bananas. How many fruit? How many fruit do you have in total? How many fruit do you have in total? Well done, Karim. Well done, Taylor. Well done, Anuja from Facebook. Well done, Catherine. Well done, Musama. Not quite Raspberry. Not quite having it. You're finding a ratio. I want to find out a number. What on Vanak? What on Bethany? What on Tammy? So let's write apples and bananas. 2 to 3. And let's say there's 15 bananas. What on Masha? What on Ruben? You always do the second ratio divided by the first. So 15 divided by 3, which is 5. So you times this side by 5. And you times that side by 5. So 2 times 5, 10. Okay? How many in total? 10 apples plus 15 bananas is 25 food. Okay? What on Jihaza on Facebook? Does everyone get that so far? Okay. Now what I want to do is simplify ratios. Okay. So let's say the ratio was 20 to 80 and I want to simplify it. I could divide both sides, well done Anerja, by the number 10. 80 divided by 10, 8. And I divide this side by 10 also. But 20 divided by 10, 2. What can I divide each side by now? I can divide them by the number 2. 80 divided by 8 divided by 2, 4. 2 divided by 2, 1. So my ratio is 1 to 4. Does everyone get that? Well done Ahmed, well done Tayami. Well done Bethany. Okay? So what I want us to do, I want you to split the number 50 to 15 in its simplest form, please. Not quite Oliver, well done Bethany, well done Catherine, well done Taylor, well done Tayami. Not quite Kareem, well done Taylor. Well done Faye on Facebook, well done Havinette, not quite Bob, not quite Kareem. Well done Ruben, well done Ahmed. So what can I divide both sides by? I can divide both sides by the number 5. Where 15 divided by 5, 3. 50 divided by 5, 10. So my ratio is 10 to 3. Does anyone get that so far? Okay. Okay. So I want you to now split the ratio 28 to 48 in its simplest form. Well done, Musama. Not quite Catherine. Well done, Tammy. Well done, Kareem. Well done, Catherine. Okay. So what I could do, I know I can just easily halve them. 44 divided by 2, 22. 28 divided by 2, 14. This one, I can simplify it even further. All I needed to do was divide it by number 2. Okay, 22 divided by 2, 11. 14 divided by 2, 7. So at the end, my ratio is 7 to 11. Does everyone get that so far? Okay. Now, the next thing what we're going to do is simplify ratio units. So let's say I had a ratio 150 grams, okay? And I want to see how much is it compared to a ratio of 2.5 kilograms. Do you understand? Okay, so first things first, I've got to change them both into grams. So 2.5 kilograms to grams, you just do 2.5 times by 1,000, 2,500. So you got ratio 2,500. You got to kind of reduce this. How would you go about it? You cross out the zeros, right? Okay, and then what do you do after this? You simplify it even further. Okay, so how many 5s go into 15? 3. How many 5s go into number 2,500? 50. One on Mustafa, one on Bethany, one on Catherine. Can I simplify this any further? Can I simplify it any further? No. It's done. Okay. I'd like you now give me a moment. 300 meters. Okay, give me a moment. 300. We do 300 meters. Okay, to 2.5 kilometers. Okay, can you do that question, please? Change them both into meters and then simplify it. Catherine, well done. Kareem, well done. Vonak, well done. Faye on Facebook, well done. Kareem, well done. Bethany, well done. Tayami, well done. Ruben, well done. Tayami, well done. Ruben, well done. Bethany, well done. Chia on Facebook, well done. Okay, so I'm going to change the kilometers into meters. How do I change kilometers into meters? I times it by 1,000. So it's 2,500 meters. So I got 300 meters to 2,500 meters. Now they're both in meters. I could play with them. I divide this by 100, so I cross out 2 zeros from here. Oh, why am I drawing circles? What did I press? Okay, don't press that one. Press that one. Okay. So I cross out a 0 there, a 0 there, a 0 there, a 0 there. So I'm left with 3 to 25, and I can't simplify it any further. Does everyone get that so far? Okay. Now I'm going to show you a magic trick. Right? You want to see a magic trick? Okay, so 30 to 0.6. You move it one time that way, it becomes a 6. And you have to move this one time that way, so it becomes a 300. And then you can divide this by 6, gets you a 1, and divide this by 6, gets you 50. Does everyone get it? Cool magic trick? Yeah, cool magic trick, right? Okay. So now, what I'm going to do, okay, is give you a question to do by yourself. Okay? I'd like you to do 5 centimeters to 1.5 centimeters, please. Well done, Musama. Well done, Taylor. Well done, Haminette. Well done, Catherine. Well done, Tammy. Well done, Kareem. Well done, Bob. Well done, Ruben. All right. So, at what age am I going to stop teaching? When I make £1 million, I'm going to stop. I'm going to be like, hey, forget all of you. I never liked you. I never wanted to teach you. No, I'm joking. I think I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. I love it. Hopefully, I get to teach like this for the rest of my life. I'll be happy. So you move it one time to the right. So it's 15. Yes, Bethany. Yeah, Bob, let me see your answer. Where did you write the Bob? No, Bob, not quite. Okay, and you move it one time that way for the 5, so it becomes 50. Is that you times both sides by 10? Did I? Anyway, we divide both sides by the number 5. Let me check your answer again. Bob, where is your answer, Bob? Raspy, well done. Yeah, Bob, not quite. Okay, and you divide the other side by 5 also. 50 divided by 5, 10. 15 divided by 5, 3. So that's my ratio. Does everyone get that so far? Yeah? Okay. So what we're going to do, okay, we'll leave it like that, okay, the 11 plus, and we'll continue from here, okay? Do remember, okay, that these lessons are for free. If you want to practice the other 4 lessons for 11 plus, you can also come to Key Stage 3 if you're doing your 11 plus. Come to these Key Stage 3. I have so many lessons, okay? We do real style exam questions together. Key Stage 2, they're all recorded, so if you miss out, you could come along. These are all for 11 plus. If you want to come to foundation stuff. We've got foundation there, but yeah, quite a lot of lessons, okay? So if you want to practice that stuff, do come along, and I'll take you far. Okay, thank you very much. Bye-bye.